Fanatec ClubSport Formula V2.5X. It's been a part of Fanatec's lineup of wheel rims for a very long time now, and I think it's undoubtedly one of the best looking. So in today's video, I'll be reviewing this unit, talking about all the good, the bad, and giving my thoughts on whether the ClubSport Formula V2.5X could still be worth it in 2024. And if you are interested in purchasing or learning more, I've also provided my affiliate links in the video description, as well as links to other wheels this closely competes with. Looking for great deals on sim racing hardware? Make sure to check out simspots.com, where all of the best deals on sim racing, PC, and gaming peripherals are posted daily. Literally, the site is completely free to use, free of ads, and just lets you know of discounted sim racing hardware for you to save some cash. Get into sim racing or upgrade your gear today at simspots.com. Starting with the positives, there is a lot to like about the Fanatec ClubSport Formula V2.5X. Although it doesn't look much different from all of Fanatec's other Formula-style rims, the color scheme used here is by far one of the best looking, as it maintains an aggressive yet modern-looking design. Unique about the V2.5X, and one of its biggest selling points, will of course be its Xbox compatibility. As many of you know, Fanatec integrates the Xbox chip on certain wheel rims, this being one of them, which means that by using this wheel with any compatible Fanatec base, you'll be able to use your wheelbase plus this rim on Xbox. Moreover, if you're using a PlayStation compatible wheelbase like the GT Pro and want to use the steering wheel on PlayStation, you can do that as well. This means the V2.5X can, with the proper gear, be compatible with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation consoles, this being a massive advantage for this rim. Ergonomically, I found this wheel to be fantastic. At its 270mm diameter, it is smaller in size, but it is still suitable for a Formula-style rim, and every single button, dial, and encoder is placed in a very well thought out and comfortable place. For a wheel of this size, it is also extremely impressive the amount of functionality Fanatec has been able to squeeze in here, as there are, and get ready, a total of 2 thumb encoders, 2 two-way toggle switches, 2 12-way multi-position switches, 11 buttons, a small OLED display, RGB shift lights, an analog joystick, and a 7-way funky switch. Yes, all of this packed into this wheel. As for how they feel, they're all really good with the exception of the thumb encoders. The buttons have a firm click, the encoders have a good resistance, and the included paddle shifters are very commendable, with a sturdy and clicky feel without being obnoxiously loud. The faceplate of this rim is composed of a 5mm thick carbon fiber sheet, with the rest of the housing being made from injection molded plastic. Apart from just looking cool, I also found zero noticeable flex on this rim, not even when purposely pushing and pulling the handles. Talking about the handles, they are wrapped in genuine Alcantara and feel solid in hand. Those with very big hands might find this wheel a bit small, but for someone like me, and I suppose most of you, it felt just fine, and again, I was able to comfortably reach all the buttons. Taking a look behind the rim, on my unit you'll find the new Fanatec QR2 Pro. However, as standard, and from my understanding looking at the Fanatec website, this wheel still comes with the old QR1 system, and if you want the updated version like I have here, you'll need to shell out a lot more in order to upgrade both your wheel and wheelbase to the new QR2 system. Now, if you are interested in learning more about how that works, make sure to watch my dedicated video explaining the Fanatec QR2 ecosystem. Anyways, back here you will also find the aforementioned paddle shifters, which do look and feel good. However, if you are looking for a more premium option with much more functionality, these can be upgraded with the Podium Advanced Paddle module for an additional $180. Something I suspect most won't be doing, but hey, at least it's an option. Now, if you do want to hear my thoughts on that paddle module, make sure to watch my review on the 2023 Fanatec F1 licensed wheel. Taking this wheel out on track, there is a ton that I liked and also a lot that could use some improvement, more of which I'll talk about in the negative section of this review. However, as for the good, one of the standout features of this wheel for me has got to be its vibrating handles. You see, this rim is equipped with vibration motors within the Alcantara grips of the wheel that can simulate a variety of things such as road effects, engine rumble, ABS, and lots more. I decided to crank up the engine rumble effect to the max, and it really provided a different level of immersion, most comparable to what you would feel with true force on some Logitech wheels. For me, this effect gave me that sensation of road vibration which you would expect to feel in a real car, and paired with the precise feedback of the ClubSport DD I was using, gave me a very immersive driving experience. The wheel as a whole also held up very well on track. No flex whatsoever was felt, and the small and lightweight nature of this wheel allowed me to feel maximum feedback from the wheelbase with no sort of interference. So overall, the driving experience, build quality, and ergonomics of this wheel were very well done. However, I've certainly found the Fanatec ClubSport Formula V2.5X to have its flaws. Starting with one of the things that I don't really understand about this rim is that it still comes with the old QR1 quick release system by default instead of something like at least the new QR2 Lite. You see, if Fanatec expects to make the full transition into these new quick release systems, I don't really see why they're still selling them separately, even if you're buying a completely new rim from them. This wheel, already priced at $350, will only get far more expensive once you're adding on the wheel side quick releases, not to mention the base sides if you need that too. Moving on, although I think the Alcantara grips are very well made and comfortable in hand, and I reckon the majority of sim racers would take a leather or rubber finish over Alcantara every day of the week for that added grip, but more importantly, just to keep this wheel looking good even after months of use. As anyone who's had an Alcantara wheel knows, they require you to wear gloves and maintain them in order to keep them looking good, something many people just can't be bothered with. As such, I reckon that a leather or rubber finish on this wheel would have been a lot more desirable. By now, some of you may have noticed that the center encoder only has 4 modes, each of which comes pre-configured to adjust how the clutch paddles function. The only problem is, this wheel, it doesn't come with any clutch paddles, and if you don't want to spend more to get some, well, this center encoder that sits smack in the middle won't really have any use. Also, one thing that I noticed is that by default, this center 1-inch screen displays the speed you're going at, which might be useful. And although this screen can't be completely customized in the software to display other things, I also noticed that there is no way to get it to display your speed in miles per hour, something which for those of us living in a certain country would be nice. One of the most glaring flaws of this wheel in my opinion has got to be the thumb encoders, which although are of great quality and are in a great position, have an extremely light feel, meaning I found it very hard to precisely move it by the amount that I wanted when flying down the track. If these thumb encoders had slightly more resistance, I reckon they could be significantly more useful and reliable than they currently are. And talking about reliability, the biggest thing I noticed with this wheel was that the RGB shift lights and OLED display stopped working several times out of absolutely nowhere. I would quite literally be driving with everything working perfectly when everything would just freeze, and although the actual functionality of this wheel was fine and I was able to continue driving with no issues, the shift lights and screen simply cut out for a reason which I don't know, even as I'm running all the latest firmware. Anyways, that all being said, all in all, I really am happy with the Fanatec ClubSport Formula V2.5X. Not only is it one of Fanatec's best looking wheels, but it also packs a ton of functionality and compatibility with its console support. It's certainly not without its flaws, but I think that for the money, you do get a lot of value here, and it's for that reason that I do still recommend this wheel, albeit you should weigh in the good and the bad in order to make your decision. Anyways, as always, remember that all of the products are linked in the video description, and with all of that said, this has been my review on the Fanatec ClubSport Formula V2.5X. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section, and finally, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.